Good evening, Mom. How are you today?
I'm great. The sun's shining outside and just makes me feel good.
It is a beautiful day. I brought my tender pups with me, Blue Ridge, Paige, and Fox. They're out there playing with Champ, and I think Layla's in there taking her nap. Chad's cooking dinner, and Jesse's outside playing with a pack of pups and two little babies, Ben and Kendall.
Oh yeah, they're having fun out there in on the swings. They get out there and they don't want to come in. When they start to come in, they start crying.
Well, you guys have a beautiful yard to play in. I love Ben and Kendall's setup with the play, the play structure, and the little house they've got out there with the chairs. It looks like a real house.
Oh, it does. It looks real. And Chad has put down all the mulch today, and it looks so great.
It sure does, and I see the flowers in front of the little children's house. It looks like a real home. It's really cute.
Yeah, they have fun in that little house.
Well, if it's okay with you, I think a great topic for us would be I'd like to talk about Mary Helen, Linda's best friend growing up. Would that be okay with you?
Oh, yes, I love Mary Helen. She was a sweet girl. I loved her so much.
Me too. And, I don't know exactly, she was there when I was born, and we lived on Prospect. And I remember, as I got older, that I was so attached to her. She and Linda would take me everywhere, but I was just in love with Mary Helen.
Well, she came over she stayed with me or us more than she did at home. And she'd pick you up just as soon as she got in that house. She'd carry you around and she'd give you your bottle, and oh, she just loved you.
You know how your soul just gravitates to another soul. I was very soul bonded with her.
Yes, you was. She's the only person that you really, really, you would cry for. And she would go to you for she would her own mother.
So you mean outside of you, I was attached to Mary Helen?
Oh, yes, you were. You loved her, and you just clung to her, As she grew older, well, it got worse.
She was kind of like my hero growing up. She drove a really cool car, that little Volkswagen. It was kind of grayish blue. She had beautiful wavy red hair. She had a beautiful smile. And Mom, she was a very gentle soul. She wasn't loud and obnoxious. She was real, just laid back and calm, but she was very intelligent.
Oh, yes, she was. And she always smiled. And you never seen her mad or, angry or anything. She just came with a smile and left with a smile.
As an adult, we'll get back to being a child, but I just want to say quickly, as an adult, I have such respect for her because, Mary Helen grew up and became someone that worked with people that were mentally challenged. She worked in Greenville and at that hospital, and I just was just so proud of the work that she did. She's an amazing person. It takes such a special person to work with the type of patients that she worked with in that hospital.
Oh, yes, it did. She was just so humble and just caring, and she just loved everyone.
So, I can remember so many instances growing up. I remember standing in front of her car, being maybe 5, 6 years old, and I did not want to move from her door because I was afraid she'd leave and go somewhere. I wanted her to just stay right with us.
Yes, you did. You'd follow her through the house. If she'd put you down and start home, you'd start crying. And you wanted to go with her.
I remember one story you told me that you literally had to call her to come back because I was crying.
Yes, I did. I couldn't get you to quit crying at all, and I called her to come back to see if she could, get you to sleep or just calm you down, because I don't know. I've never seen anyone love anyone like she did you, or you did her.
For me, this talk we're doing today about Mary Helen, it's very emotional for me because she passed away a few years ago, and even before Mary Helen passed away, I can honestly tell you, if someone mentioned her name, I would get tears in my eyes, from tears of joy. They were also tears of sadness, missing the good old days of being with her. The 70s were probably the greatest years of my entire life. You know, bicycle, paper route, Mary Helen, eating candy, playing. You know, you didn't have to worry about every little thing going on in the world. It was just a happier time.
Yes, it was. You was always happy and out in the swinging or playing some kind of game outside or inside, and you were always happy.
Always riding my bicycle and bouncing some kind of a ball.
Oh, yeah, that's all you did. Most of the time, you just ride that bicycle and bounce a ball, and you just doing all kinds of stuff.
I don't want to get into this too heavy because we'll probably do a special talk on my paper route, because that's a whole nother subject.
Yes, it is.
But that's, you know, riding my bicycle and doing my paper route, that was really important to me. But getting back to Mary Helen, that's the focus of our topic today. I remember one time my sister Phyllis, and I'm not just trying to pass the buck, it's the truth. She'll tell you. She talked me into being a stowaway in Mary Helen's car when Mary Helen and Linda were getting ready to go somewhere and have fun and ride around. And Phyllis wanted to see what they were going to do. So she puts me in the bottom of the back of this Volkswagen and climbs on top of me.
Oh, I'll never forget that as long as I live. I was so worried and scared. I didn't know where you was. And if I knew you was in the trunk of that car, I don't know what I would have did.
Well, in a Volkswagen, it wasn't exactly a trunk, but Mom, if I could go back, I was just so young. I just followed what Phyllis wanted to do. I was only about 6 or 7. I was tiny. And I tell you, if I had it to do over, I'm so sorry that you worried about us like that.
I sure did. I didn't know where you was. I couldn't find you. And finally, I called the girls accidentally found you in the back of the car.
Well, I told Phyllis, I whispered to her and I said, look, it's time to let them know we're back here. And we started giggling. And Linda said, I smell a rat.
Linda's so funny. She found you, didn't she?
Yeah, they went riding around in up there in Fair Acres off of Watauga. In that neighborhood, it's such a beautiful neighborhood. I guess they went up there to see some of their friends, but I started giggling, and they found us.
Yeah, they did, and they brought you home. I was so glad to see you. I didn't spank you or anything.
I know. I was afraid I was going to get a switch.
No. I was just so glad that you were okay, you and Phyllis, because someone else could have picked you up, and I'd have never seen you again.
Mom, I'm so sorry that we let you worry like that. That makes me feel so bad.
Well, that's okay, as long as you was okay, and I got over it once I found you.
That was my next question. Did you really let that go, or are you able to let things go like that, or did they ever gnaw at you that what could have been?
Well, at the time, I thought about, what could have happened to you and Phyllis, but I just forget. I'm not too good about the past. I always live in the future. But, no, I let it go. I didn't think about it anymore.
I'm with you, Mom. I like to live in the present. Living in the past is no good. Mary Helen was just so awesome. She was our neighbor. She would bring us candy. She would eat with us. She would play with us, take care of us. She was the greatest friend Linda ever had, and Linda is just like us. She misses her dearly.
Yes, she does. I think that is the best friend that Linda ever had, because they got along so good, and I've got pictures of them together, and they look so happy.
I have pictures of them, too, and they're just those classic pictures from that era, the way people dress, those penny loafers, and those long shorts and those sweaters. I mean, those,
Yeah, that's the way people dressed then. They just they don't wear things like that now like they used to.
Linda reminds me, she had that real cold black hair. It's almost blue looking with the curls, and she kind of looks like Gidget.
She's so pretty, wasn't she?
Oh, yes.
She still is. But she could have been a model or anything.
Oh, I agree. She really is beautiful, and She's beautiful growing up, and so was Brenda.
Yes, Brenda had golden blonde hair, and she was beautiful.
And that's a whole nother discussion. You and I've got more discussions to do than, we just got a stack of them. I hope we can get to them, pretty quickly. But Brenda loved Mary Helen too.
Oh, yes, she did. She hung around with her. Well, now, Mary Helen loved all my kids. But you was her favorite. And but my kids just loved her.
Oh, I know. And let me tell you, I felt the soul bond. I felt the soul bond with Mary Helen my entire life. Now, I want to tell you something. I remember after Daddy passed away, he got sick, and he was sick for 1.5 years, and he passed away in September of 1997. And I remember after he passed away, Mary Helen, I think I had written her a letter. She wrote me a letter back. And, you think about it. People don't write people letters anymore.
No, they don't. They'll call you on the phone or text you.
That's right. And you're lucky you might get an email, too.
That's right. If you get an email, you're lucky.
But I hand wrote her, and she hand wrote me back. Mother, I kept her letter. I even kept the envelope it came in. I've got it framed in my new office on the wall. And I've got pictures, kind of like a collage. I had it special ordered and made from a company, and it's got a picture of me and Phyllis and our neighbor Tessie Oliver that we used to hang out with.
Oh, yes, I remember Tessie.
That was Phyllis's best friend, and Tessie was real good to me.
Yes, she was. We always had good friends.
And we're still friends. She's also, Tessie lives in Knoxville, I believe, and she's my Facebook friend. But I've got that picture of Phyllis and Tessie and me standing in front of Mary Helen's little blue Volkswagen in our driveway on Prospect. Then there's a picture of Mary Helen by herself with sunglasses on and that beautiful wavy red hair. And then there's a picture of Mary Helen and Linda in those long shorts and penny loafers and those sweaters.
Yes, I remember all that, the way they dressed. I thought they were cute.
And I have that hanging in my office. And listen, there's not a day that goes by that I'm at work in that office when I look at that. And I remember my childhood so well. And Mary Helen has the most wonderful children. I'm friends with 2 of her girls. I've not met them in person. I've met them on Facebook. They are beautiful girls, and they have beautiful children.
I would give anything to see them because I wish they would come to see us.
Well, I will ask them to come to see us because it's that last little piece of Mary Helen that's left.
Yes, it would just really make me happy to see her children and grandchildren.
Mother, they look like her. And do you know that one of her grandchildren, by one of her daughters, they named her Mary?
Oh, that's wonderful.
And guess what? She looks just like Mary Helen.
Really? Maybe they could send us pictures.
Yes, they will. I will ask them. But her hair looks just like Mary Helen, and it just touches me that they named her Mary.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so happy that she did.
They miss their mother so deeply. And Mom, she died way too young. She was only in her late 50s.
I never did know what happened to her.
Well, I don't want to get into all that, but she had some complications. I think she had complications from a surgery infection, and they just couldn't seem to get it.
Oh, that was awful.
And I don't want to be, specific because I don't know all the details, but I know that she was a child of God, and I know that she's in heaven. But boy, I miss her, and her girls miss her so much.
Yes, we all miss her. She just left us too early, I think.
Linda will never, I don't care where she goes, she'll never meet a friend like Mary Helen.
No, she won't. I have never known her to be close to anyone but her.
Now, when I got older, I had a friend kind of like Linda did, Rhonda, but we'll get into that. That'll be another topic, too. You and I have got so many topics.
Oh, my goodness, that Rhonda, she's a case.
Yeah.
I love her, too.
But, I miss Mary Helen so much. Daddy loved her, too, and he used to tease her all the time.
Yes, he did. He just teased her and make her laugh, and she just loved Piff.
She was just like a member of our family.
Yes, she was. She stayed with us. Well, her dad and mother both worked, And she was lonesome, I guess. So she'd come over and eat with us after school. And she just didn't go anywhere else but our house.
Yeah, she was an only child, and she wasn't wild. Linda and Mary Helen, they would just hang out together, do homework, eat together, ride around in the car, take care of us, play outside.
Yeah, they were really good girls, I can say that.
Times were so much more wholesome. They didn't do drugs. They didn't drink. They were just awesome, awesome teenagers. And they were role models for me. And I really looked up to Linda and Mary Helen. Linda was good to me, just like Mary Helen.
Oh, yes, Linda was a wonderful girl. She helped us all, and she helped take care of y'all while I was working. And she was just a real amazing girl.
And Linda is still great to me. And you know something I love about Linda? Linda understood the love between me and Mary Helen, and she knew I loved her just as much. Linda never was jealous of my relationship with Mary Helen. It just wasn't an issue.
No, Linda was happy about it. She thought it was wonderful that Mary Helen, thought so much of you. She just didn't. Linda's not the jealous type.
No, I'm not either. Neither are you, and that's a good thing.
No, I'm not jealous. I'm just. I think it. I just wouldn't never be like that.
I hope you and I get to live a long, healthy life, but I will tell you this. Whenever I do go to heaven, Mary Helen will be one of the first people I want to wrap my arms around.
Oh, that would be wonderful. But I hope you live a long time.
Yeah, not only long, but long and healthy.
Long and healthy, yes, that's what I wish for.
And I pray that for you as well, Mom. Can you think of any other special stories that you want to tell about Mary Helen? I know that her daddy was a administrator of a hospital.
Hudson Valley. He was administrator of Hudson Valley.
That's a big job back then.
Yes, and his wife, I don't know exactly what her mother did, but she was a beautiful woman. And she went dressed so nice. And her father, Mr. Phillips, was a great person.
I tell you, she really had some really, really intelligent, good-looking, caring parents.
Yes, she did. They were wonderful. Now, they passed away. They passed at an early, they wasn't too old whenever they passed.
I know, that's very, very sad. But I want to, I'm going to get a hold of Mary Helen's girls, and later on when all this COVID-19 stuff goes away, I want to get them to come up here and bring their children and let me and you let them come to the office, or they can come here and play out in the yard and let us visit them, because I tell you, when you look at Mary Helen's children and grandchildren, you see a piece of her because they look like her.
Yeah, and I'd like to see her husband too. He was really, really a good husband.
Mom, you just read my mind. I was getting ready to say that. She had just a wonderful husband, and I know he misses her terribly too.
Oh, yes, he does. I haven't heard from him either. Have you?
No, I don't know if he lives with one of his daughters or just has stayed there a little bit. I know he was staying with one of them when she first passed away, because it was just too much for him, the shock.
Yes, it was, yeah. He just didn't like to be alone.
No, she's the kind of person, Mary Helen's a hard person. You don't ever get over somebody like her.
No, you don't. She's a wonderful person, and she is somebody that you think of often.
Mother, if one person on this earth ever feels about me the way that I feel about Mary Helen, even after she's passed, that would make me very, very happy.
Yes, it would. It would. She just hard to beat. You know, she's just so wonderful to everybody. But you was her special person that she really, really loved.
The only way I can put it is if you could think of it like this. You know what a fossil looks like. You find a fossil and it's an imprint of something.
Yeah.
Okay. I consider Mary Helen one of the fossil prints of my childhood.
Yes, that really sums it up. That I think so too. I agree with you fully.
Well, I want to thank you for taking this time to talk with me about Mary Helen today. And I know you haven't had dinner yet, and I thank you for wanting to talk to me. And I think Chad's getting ready to bring you some dinner. He's so sweet to go in there and cook your dinner. And I just want you to know I love you, and thank you so much, Mom.
Oh, Chad's going to bring my dinner? Well, that's awful sweet of him. He's a good boy, I'll tell you.
You know why he's a good boy? Because he was raised by some good women.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he's something special to us.
Well, Mom, I love you, and I love Chad, my nephew's son, and he's going to bring your dinner. So you have a great dinner, and we'll talk very soon. Okay?
Okay, honey, I love you, and I will talk to you later. And bye for now.
I love you. Bye for now.